I chose the title All In for this episode because around mid-February was the time when we started to be fully settled into our house. Lloyd's used to going to work and getting into a bit of a routine. It's also the time when you start to notice, having been somewhere for a bit longer, that you really are staying after all, and it's not just a holiday. So it's also all in the sense that of commitment and of having become more settled with the idea of being more permanently in a place. And in addition, my stamps finally came, so I was able to start penning my first snail mail back to Australia. I think I'm firmly of the opinion that when you go on an adventure or set out on an artistic venture, you're either all in or you're not in. So before I knew it, 2 weeks were up and it was time for me to go and take my second set of photos of the common for my seasons flipbook. On this occasion I entered the common a different way, and I came through an entrance which is known as the cemetery entrance, and there I discovered the Southampton Old Cemetery, which is a fascinating place where some of the graves are almost entirely overgrown by ivy or by the grass, and others are quite well maintained and obviously still have regular visitors. There's the sound of birdsong all around you, and I could also hear from the nearby common fields the sound of people training for soccer or rugby. As I entered the common on this particular day, I was surprised at the amount of people who were there, given that it was a working day afternoon. There seemed to be a lot of people with sports training on, and several groups were training for rugby on the fields, as well as a group who were going to fly a model plane, and a lot of people out for their own exercise with their dogs and their children. I managed to find a spot that I thought was fairly secluded, in which there was a flattish bit of grass, and decided to do a little bit of dancing. However, I'd done a few dances and sat back down for a rest with my camera when two small children came up and boldly introduced themselves, saying that they were 4 and how old was I, and introducing their 2 dogs, a very elderly one who was tottering a bit, and the tiniest little puppy you've ever seen in your life, who was called Flo. Probably too fast, In this episode, I'm also going to give you the official flat tour now that things are clean and tidy and all the furniture is in. So from our bedroom window, we're still seeing mainly construction. However, it does let nice light in, and it has the same big windowsills as elsewhere. You can kind of see our ocean theme going on, and our one messy corner where we store all of our things in our clothes hanger. The bathroom has a mirror above the toilet, which Lloyd finds very disconcerting, but it's helpful for me to see myself full length sometimes to determine if outfits look okay. And in the living area, it's most of our favourite furniture. Our fridge and washing machine are hidden in the cupboard, so you can't see them at first. And we've got this great table that folds down to become just a set of drawers when we don't want it taking up room. It was nice to settle back into a routine of exercising in our own space, having somewhere to do those kind of meditative stretching and exercise routines that I used to do at Grattan Street in the dance studio. It was my job on one of these days in mid-February to take our tenancy inventory back to the letting agent, which is down at Ocean Village. This is down near the docks and a bit of a walk. So I headed back to the docks again, somewhere I haven't been in a while. I was lucky enough that on this occasion they were opening the gate, so I could see into a fairly large ship waiting inside, and I saw one of the goods trains emerge. This was actually going past for several minutes, and they had stopped the traffic for several minutes before that, but I'll spare you the length and show you a nice swan instead.